You see the title, Confession of a Black Man, Pillow Talk. Or it could be Pillow Talk, Confession of a Black Man, either one. A lot of women like to know why men cheat. Okay, that was a very difficult one because all men don't cheat for the same reason. So it's not like we just cheat because, some brothers do cheat just for the fun of it because they get bored. Some brothers cheat because they want to get revenge. And some brothers cheat because they've been hurt and they've been dogged out. Like for my example, from my case, okay, I didn't start being a player or a cheater or something like that till I was in a relationship with a girl and I didn't want to be that player. I never wanted to be the guy. I was wanted to be the committed guy. And I was dating this one dating this one girl, my high school love, and she broke my heart. And I just thought, man. And then it's just the fact that she didn't break my heart. She got pregnant by my best friend. So that kind of like opened the door for me personally, you know what I'm saying? Then plus, I had a father that, had a messed up father that was kind of like, he was, I saw how he did my mother, and you know what I'm saying? And he tried to tell me, he told me as a child that, you're not a man, and that you got two women, so you ain't a real man, so you got to have two women or more. Because he was a player, you know what I'm saying? But I never wanted to be that player. But I ended up being that player, not because I just woke up and said, oh, I got to be this player, or I got to cheat on my woman, or I got to do that. No. I ended up doing that because, like I said, I got hurt, and I wasn't mature enough to overcome the pain that I was feeling because I felt like, man, every girlfriend I've ever had, I tried to be good to, and end up being dogged out because they was dogged out. So when, I didn't try to be the better person after that, I was like, well, this is the world I live in. This is the city I live in. I mean, the people just seem to be, everybody wants to be the player. I mean, it didn't matter, if how good I was. So I could treat a chick, take out the dinner, blah, blah, blah. It was like I always felt like, okay, is she trying to get over now? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not asking for no ass. I'm not asking for no sex. I'm just, just trying to generally get to know a person. But, but back then, what I'm saying, my early 20s, it was a whole different game, you know what I'm saying? Because most people had start relationships off on sex anyway. It wasn't, you have a one night stand or boom, or even if you got to hit it in the first week, it always was the same. It was never putting that foundation down or that, so to build that house solid. It was like we always started on quicksand and it sunk quickly. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it sunk slower than other times, but it always sunk. But so like I said, brothers cheat for different reasons. Some brothers cheat because, they just feel like, it's in their blood, or it's the in thing in, or they think that, you know what I'm saying, because it boils down to really, to me, not having a father figure in your life. You're not having a real man in your life telling you that, hey man, look, you might want to chill, you might want to have a woman, because, brothers tend to think that you got to have a harem of women to be happy. And, I've had the harem of women, just like most brothers have too. But, some brothers just, to me, it got old. It got old real quick. I mean, I had a good friend of mine who told me, and he was a little bit older. He told me, he said, I don't need a harem. I just need the right one. You know what I'm saying? And for a long time, it took me a long time to understand what that brother was talking about because, I was like, oh, man, please, dude, I got to have them. But as I got older, I got to see what it meant because, you know what I'm saying? Because when you got a lot of different women, that means you got to learn a lot of different personalities, learning a lot of good and bad about a woman at the same time. And, that's confusing. That's work, bro. That's too much work. So, you know what I'm saying? It's hard enough to try to learn one woman, not try to learn two, three, or four, five. You know what I'm saying? That's too much. And you know what I'm saying? That most brothers, you know what I'm saying, they want to keep it on the down low, you know, like, oh no, I'm single. But see, most sisters that I branch with, like I said, this was back in my day, you know, that I ran across didn't do that. If they had a husband, boyfriend, whatever, they would just spread out and tell you, look, hey, I got another dude, blah, blah, blah. You know, I got time here's there if you want to get down. And most brothers ain't gonna be like, nah, girl, you got a man, ain't you? They be like, all right, cool, bet. Hook it up. They was with that. Cause I did that. I did this chick named Jackie, and she was married to this soldier, and she was like, I'm not leaving my husband. He got a good pension coming in, blah blah blah. Had good rank, and he had a good retirement plan set up for him and everything. She was not looking. The only problem was he couldn't get up no more. And she was like, I'm not leaving my husband. But then she tried to make it, she tried to give me a situation or a compromise by what I could or what I could not do. Well, you can't be with no other woman, blah, blah, blah. But wait a minute. You telling me what your husband can't do, I don't know if that's necessarily true. So you want me, you know, because I get it, you know what I'm saying? You trying to protect yourself. I get that part. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit around and wait on you to tell me what to do. So, you know, I could go, and I'm going to continue on with different stories like this, man, because, you know, sometimes you just have to put out your stories out there to let people understand that, you know, it's not always what it seems. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it is, but sometimes it ain't, you know? You can't always say, oh, well, you know, once a player, always player. Not necessarily true. Not necessarily true. I mean, because I've done my share of low down things just like the next person have. But, you know, you learn from your mistakes. You learn. You learn it's supposed to grow, you know? And when you don't really have a real positive father figure, because my father left when I was a young guy, you know what I'm saying? You know, he left my mom for another chick. And, you know, so it was like, okay, all the advice you gave me was really garbage. But when you're a child and you're impressionable, you know what I'm saying, you thinking your daddy's the world, you know what I'm saying? That's what happens. You usually think that you usually get left with crap. So, and I tried to pick up the pieces of his crap and make it into a man. You know what I'm saying? That's like taking some mud and trying to make a clay sculpture out of it when you really don't know what you're doing. But anyway, this is, like I said, this is a confession of a black man, pillow talk. Peace.